Your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The murder count up to 14 so far this year, with 2 more shot dead. More calls for action on crime. And the government ups the heat on the Grand Bahama Port Authority. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, January 18th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us, and we're going to take that conversation about the Port Authority and the government into our business hour. So a lot to get to this morning. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, 2 murders on New Providence, pushing the toll for the year to 14 already so far, continuing what has been a bloody January. In the first incident yesterday, around midday at the junction of Village Road and Parkgate Road, a man who was on bail for murder was killed. Police Chief Superintendent Crystalline Skipping says the man was driving a small Japanese vehicle when another silver Japanese vehicle pulled alongside him and the occupant opened fire, hitting him multiple times. He died at the scene. In a separate incident on Pine Yard Road off Fox Hill Road, a man who was believed to be in his early 20s was not known to police, was shot dead. Happened sometime around 11:20 a.m. Gunshots were heard in the area. We're told that a concerned citizen came out and made a check on what was happening in his yard, and on a track road discovered a man unresponsive. Police say that man had multiple gunshot wounds. As she spoke to reporters, the victim's relatives could be heard sobbing in the background. The 12th murder, we told you about this yesterday, took place in Abaco in Dundas Town on Tuesday night, the first on a family island this year. Police say a 38-year-old man who was shot multiple times in the area of Latter Rain Way. He died at the scene. A 50-year-old man from Spring City, Abaco, and a 29-year-old man from Marsh Harbor were taken into custody in relation to that incident. Well, as the murder count continues to climb, Bahamas Christian Council President Bishop Delton Fernando calling for a bipartisan effort to tackle crime. He said it's not a PLP nor an FNM problem. He said, quote, all of us must see the need to work together to work for the common cause. That is, to collaborate and make our democracy and that which we do stronger than it's ever been before. Meanwhile, FNM Chairman Dr. Twain Sands calling on the Prime Minister to give more attention to crime as the murder count continues to surge. Telling the National Guardian, quote, at some point I think it is important for the Prime Minister to understand that his symbolic presence as a leader in the middle of the crisis is important For him to pick up and just roll out as we are watching blood flow in the streets sends the message that he just does not get it or doesn't care, perhaps. Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell telling officials with the Organization of American States that work is ongoing to develop a legal framework to govern campaign finance practices in this country. Mitchell speaking in Washington, D.C., where he was responding to a presentation of the OAS Electoral Observer Mission's final report on the Bahamian general election, the 2021 election. Mitchell saying that, as outlined in the PLP's Blueprint for Change election manifesto, the government is committed to campaign finance reform and is working in developing a legal framework to govern campaign finance. In its report, the OAS said the Bahamas should create an authority to oversee legislative standards and enforce penalties for noncompliance. In crime news, court news, a man facing murder and weapons charges remanded to prison. 44-year-old Alvin Morley Sr. of Lincoln Boulevard South is accused of the January 10th murder of Destin Curtis. According to police, Curtis and a companion were about to leave a home at Bell Close in Montel Heights when his car developed mechanical difficulties. A masked gunman shot Curtis multiple times as he sat in his car. The woman he was with was unharmed. Police allegedly found Morley with a G2C 9mm pistol along with 9 rounds of ammunition on January 13th. Morley didn't have to plead to the charges. To the murder, firearm, and possession and ammunition charges when he made his initial appearance before Magistrate Algernon Allen Jr. Bail was denied and the matter was adjourned to May 29th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Overseas, Pakistan's Air Force launching retaliatory airstrikes early today in Iran, allegedly targeting militant hideouts, an attack that killed at least 9 people and further raised tensions between the neighboring nations. The tit-for-tat attacks Tuesday and Thursday appear to target 2 Baloch militant groups with similar separatist goals on both sides of the Iran-Pakistan border. However, the two countries have accused each other of providing safe haven to the groups in their respective territories. The strikes imperil diplomatic relations between the two neighbors as Iran and nuclear-armed Pakistan have long regarded each other with suspicion over militant attacks. Each nation also faces its own internal political pressures, and the strikes may in part be in response to that. The attacks also come as the Middle East remains unsettled by Israel's war with Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Iran also staged airstrikes late Monday in Iraq and Syria over the Islamic State-claimed suicide bombing that killed over 90 people in early January. Pakistan's foreign ministry describing their attack Thursday as a series of highly coordinated and specifically targeted precision military strikes. In sports, Bahamian national record holder in the men's javelin, Keyshawn Strachan, spending most of last season injured and in rehab after throwing the furthest in NCAA Division I early in the season. This season, he's looking to stay healthy and have a strong comeback. Strachan's been training at the Auburn University Tigers facilities, preparing for the outdoor season. You can read what he's telling Guardian Sports in today's Guardian Sports section. And the boxing community again calling for one of its sons to be given a proper tribute and a special honor, one that his family and friends could appreciate and one that would have a lasting impact here in the Bahamas. Everett Elijah Obed Ferguson is arguably the greatest boxer in the history of the country, but much more than that, he's regarded generally as a top 5 athlete in the history of sports in the country. Ferguson, who passed away in June 2018, is the only Bahamian to win a legitimate professional world title in boxing, capturing the WBC's light middleweight title at the age of 23. He defended that title twice before losing. The family says they're looking at, and the boxing community, looking for recognition and disappointed that so far, even as the country celebrated 50 years of independence, there's been little mention of Elijah Obed's accomplishments. Read more on this story in today's Guardian Sports section. And from the NFL, Mike McCarthy will get another chance to end a nearly 3-decade stretch without a deep playoff run for the Dallas Cowboys, a decision that ends 3 days of intense speculation over the coach's future. Owner and general manager Jerry Jones saying Wednesday night that McCarthy will be back for a 5th season after a stunning 48-32 wild-card loss to Green Bay. The Cowboys were the first number 2 seed to lose to the last team to get in since the 14-team format was adopted in 2020. Dallas surged to the NFC East title in the final 2 weeks and had a chance to host at least 2 playoff games. Instead, McCarthy's team is the first not to reach a conference title game after 3 consecutive 12-win playoff seasons. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Weather brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We've got troughing associated with an advancing cold front that's going to support some light to moderate convective activity across portions of the northwest Bahamas today. Meanwhile, a high-pressure ridge centered in the tropical Atlantic will continue to generate moderate to fresh breezes and promote drier conditions over the remainder of the islands. Boaters in the northwest Bahamas should be alert due to the possibility of waterspout activity near the frontal boundary, and beachgoers in the extreme northwest Bahamas and southeastern islands should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents along north and eastern shorelines. Your forecast for today for the northwest Bahamas: isolated showers and thunderstorms across the extreme northwestern islands, then becoming partly cloudy and breezy as the day progresses. Elsewhere, look for a mix of sun and clouds and slightly breezy conditions, along with a few spotty showers, becoming mostly fair and mild tonight. Expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near showers or thunderstorms. Small craft caution is in effect for the extreme northwestern islands. Winds northwest to northeast at 15 to 20 knots in the extreme northwest Bahamas and 10 to 15 knots elsewhere. Seas 3 to 5 feet, building up to 7 feet along Atlantic exposures in the extreme northwestern islands. For the central Bahamas, partly sunny, very warm with a chance of a stray shower or two. Becoming partly cloudy tonight with a few isolated showers. Winds light and variable, then becoming north to northeast at 10 to 15 knots this afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. For the southeast Bahamas, mostly sunny, very warm and a bit breezy with a slight chance of a quick light shower, becoming fair and warm tonight. Small craft caution in effect for boaters. Winds southerly, southeasterly maybe at 10 to 15 knots with occasional higher gusts. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Temperatures today, look for highs getting up to around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Lows tonight getting down to about 72 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. Currently in Nassau, it is about 74 degrees under partly cloudy skies. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. Weather brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Are you stuck in traffic? Wasting expensive gas? Well, Easy Car Sales invites you to take a test drive in an electric vehicle today. 0 emissions, maximum excitement. Visit easy242.com and find out how you can turn your daily commute into a joyride. You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Champ, baby girl, cable guy is here.
Since the very beginning, you have been with us.
This is called wave, and this is called the internet.
Okay.
All right, so you can
For
type
over
it.
2 decades, we've been with you every step of the way.
Weevo is total class. Look at her go. She's in front.
I follow the and Western.
So yeah, times may have changed, and so have your needs as our valued customers. But some connections stand the test of time. Rev, we're with you.
Struggling to repay your loan? Let us help you get back on track with payment terms that suits your financial situation and improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Inquire about our restructured loans today. Call us at 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 4224796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Great to have you with us. Hope
Good
all
to
is
be
well.
here.
We're going to do this again, Laverne. I feel like we've done this every day that you've been on and every day that we've been on for the year.
Every day that
every
we've
day.
been on, whether I'm here or not, we've been doing this.
This is crazy. And boy, we were talking about the murders. 2 more yesterday. That means 3 happened in a 24-hour period, it seems. And my goodness. So we're going to be talking about that this morning, and a little bit later getting into what's happening with Grand Bahama, the story here about the government putting more pressure or stepping up the pressure, about to, on the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, hey, 2024, it's more of the same. More of the same in the good old 242. But, yeah, so let's get into it. Let's get into what's in the news. So people were confused yesterday, wondering if people were talking about the same old stories or couldn't keep up. It's something else. It couldn't be that within moments of each other, 2 more murders. And I mean, it doesn't even make sense to say broad daylight anymore because that's been happening. It's been the case. It doesn't matter the time, the location, the island even. It's mainly New Providence. But
Doesn't matter if there are children around.
no.
It's just, there's no care, no
Right.
concern.
Man, woman, child, dog, everybody will get
It
shot.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It would appear that it doesn't matter. There's no separation.
Yeah. So for the latest on what happened yesterday, take a listen to this report from our Destiny Johnson.
2 men were murdered in separate incidents in eastern New Providence on Wednesday. The first incident happened in the area of Pine Barren Road in Fox Hill around 11:20 a.m. Police press liaison officer Chief Superintendent Skippings provided these details on the scene.
Gunshots were heard emanating in this particular area. The current resident came outside, made a check of the southern boundary of his yard, and through a track road, discovered a male unresponsive. EMS were notified. They responded and indicated the male was found with multiple gunshot injuries. He succumbed to his injuries.
Just 30 minutes later, police received reports of another shooting at the intersection of Parkgate Road and Village Road. The victim, who was on bail for murder, is believed to be in his early 20s.
Shortly after noon, our department was notified of a shooting at Parkgate and Village Roads. Information received: a driver of a small Japanese vehicle was at the intersection of Parkgate and Village Road when a vehicle, another silver Japanese vehicle, pulled alongside and opened fire on that vehicle, striking the driver multiple times. The driver succumbed to his injuries on scene.
Skippings again urging members of the community to partner with the police. Otherwise, she said, the carnage will continue.
I also want to say to parents and family members who seem to live from the proceeds of the sale of illegal drugs, because most of the incidents that we see happening, gang-related, associated with marijuana, firearms. If you encourage your loved one, your son, and when I say encourage, I mean you allow them to sell the illegal firearms and drugs from your residence, chances are your loved one or you will be a victim. We've seen it as a law enforcement agency. We've seen it happen over and over and over again.
14 murders have been reported in 17 days. Skipping says police remain relentless in the war against crime.
We're built tough. We're built tough. And are we tired? No. This is what we are called to do, and this is what we'll continue to do. And we will treat every case individually and give it the same attention as every other homicide. All of them are important to us. We're just asking for the members of the public and family members to do your part. We can, as an organization, do our part to try to save your loved ones' lives. We can do that. We've been doing that. We've been giving the police, we've been giving the warnings, we're asking you to take precautions. It's now time for you to do your part.
Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Destiny Johnson.
Wow, and you heard as the police are speaking there, you hear the people screaming in the background, you hear the pain. As this is on repeat in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I Skippings makes this appeal every time.
Right.
Obviously, not until it happens will people pay attention, right? So you could warn as much as possible, but until it happens, it doesn't seem like it makes a difference.
It doesn't seem to until it happens, and that's what last week when you and I were talking, even with regards to sometimes the callous comments people make, about these incidents. It doesn't sink in, and the importance of what she's saying doesn't hit home until it's you, until it's your loved one. And that is unfortunate.
Yeah. Wow. Laverne, what more is there to say? What more is there to say? We had the big National Day of Prayer on Monday. We have a revised crime plan from the government. Hey, some of the stuff, if we can do those things, we might be well on our way.
Right.
But in the meantime, it really is up to us.
It is. And, you know, whether we want to take on that responsibility or not, I was listening to some of the interview with the Minister of National Security yesterday. And it's our children, it's our family members who are committing these crimes. And sometimes we're privy to information and we know things, or we suspect things, or even after the fact. We really have to do all that we can to help to stop this blood flow.
Yeah. I'm noticing the attitude for a lot of people seems to be, okay, well, humans are humans and that's what they'll do. They'll do bad things, but we need the police and the government to crack down on the people doing the bad things. And that's true. Absolutely. You need them to do it. And and I still say the smallest things, yeah. But the fact that people are saying, well, they're going to let them do it until they get caught. And if they don't get caught, then it's on the government and it's the police.
No.
That's really weird.
That's weird. That's crazy.
There's plenty of people who think like that, though.
We can't think like that. If we continue to think like that, if we just say, okay, just let it happen, let it go on until government, whatever, more bloodshed, more innocent people getting caught in the crossfire. We really want to go down that road?
We're ready all the way down. All the way down. Boy, wow. All right. Well, let's see what you have to say today. I know the police were all over the place yesterday, and already this morning I've seen quite a few. They're definitely out there. I don't know if they have the energy to keep this up indefinitely, but it looks like they will need to. But even with all of that yesterday, still had 2 murders, right?
Still had 2 murders, yeah.
Let's hear what you have to say, but give us a call. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller, you're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you with us? Or we got that one up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Dwight.
Yes, good morning.
And good morning, Ms. Gardner.
Yes, it is.
And top of the morning to you, Ms. Gardner, and good morning to those who wake up in the land of the living. I hope you had something hot. Boy, Dwight, I don't know. I don't know what to say, but you can't give up. I told someone, I was talking to high-ranking police yesterday. He said you can't give up. As bad as they feel, when they go to sit down, Dwight, then a couple of minutes the radio go off or, a shooting or whatever. He says it's frustrating, but you can't give up. That's what they sign up to do. And go out there and do his job. But Dwight, I'm gonna say something to you and Ms. Gardner this morning. It ain't the government, It ain't the police, It ain't the church, It ain't education, Dwight. It's right home. And Dwight, listen to me. Put one and one together, you and Ms. Gardner. Yesterday when the gentleman, what got shot right there up in Parquet Road, you don't think somebody, let's be realistic now, you don't think somebody know where he was going and they called somebody? Come on, man, Dwight, it's so simple. These people, and I told someone yesterday, some of your parents are responsible for your children's death. Why is it so hard, Dwight, that if you're a parent and you know your child have an illegal firearm in your house, You know your child hanging around these type of people. You know these type of people coming around your house. Why is it so hard for you as being a parent to put your foot down? But you know when you put your foot down, Dwight, down the road, you shoot, and it's like an old dog in the middle of the road, and you come hollering, "Oh, my good son," but now your son was so good, why you never took time out to talk to him? Why? And I want Bahamian people to understand, it's self-responsibility. If you ain't going to take actions for and for what you do, take responsibility for your actions, right? What else is for the government to do? What else is for the police to do? What else is for education to do with some of these people? If these family members don't reach out to the police, right, and do the right thing, what else for you to do, Dwight? Sit on the radio every time and someone get killed? Oh, it's a sad murder. It ain't going to stop because too much of these parents and family members cloaking their family into wrong, Dwight.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, I mean, it's everything. It's all of us, the church, the government, the family, the schools, education, everything needs to play a role. I do believe that many of the family members do try to encourage, not all, but do try to encourage the kids to stay away from the bad company, but I mean, yes, they might not be turning them in for fear of something worse happening or as bad.
They may be in fear for their own lives. You know
That too,
what I mean?
absolutely, that too.
And that's a part of the reality that we have to face.
Absolutely.
You may know something, but you may be in fear for your own life, and so you don't feel like, or you don't, so you're afraid to report what you suspect, what you see, what you know.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't believe that there's any one particular organization or structure that we can blame to say, if the police were doing their job, if the courts were doing their job, it's everybody now. We have a problem. As Bahamians, we have a problem. We are concerned. We are alarmed at the amount of death, seeing the killing, whether you think, oh, it's gang retaliation, whatever you think or suspect that it may be. We have a problem, lawlessness. And so we all need to be able to see in this grand plan, come together and see, okay, how do we each work to assist the other?
Yeah. Well, let's take some more calls. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight, to both of you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, as I listen to Miss Skippins and as she gave her report, and, basically I am dumbfounded right now in terms of, our poorly socialized children and society. But Dwight, I want to ask both you a question. I don't know if this can be answered. But are we in the spirit of denial? Do you believe that?
What?
In terms of our poorly socialized behavior of our children, and we don't believe that this exists, or we don't believe that it will happen to us. We don't believe that we can be next, or I can be next. You think we have that spirit over us?
Well, I don't think we're in denial about our poorly socialized children.
It's very clear. We see it every day.
And it's not just children.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not just children.
They're learning it from horrible adults. They're learning it from the people around them. Yeah. So we have had a problem for decades.
I do think, to your point, I do think that there is a level, there is a fraction of us who do think, okay, this is only happening in these areas. So it's not, and it's like we were saying earlier, because it's not impacting me, maybe I don't see the seriousness of it, or I don't feel the urgency because it's personally. But there are many of us who recognize that this is dangerous for us, for our country. And we see that there are issues that like I said earlier this week, it isn't as if people just went to bed being really good people, and then all of a sudden they woke up one morning and they decided that I'm going to get a gun and I'm going to kill someone. And so we see how this is evolved over a period of time, how by us not raising our children properly, right? For whatever reason, for not having both parents in the home, or not having positive, exposing them to positive actions and role models, and all of these things. And we see how our actions, we have to look and see how our past actions has led to this problem that they did. And I believe that there are those of us, majority of us, who are willing to take a hard look at that, but then to go beyond that and say, we cannot go back and change the past, but what can we do now as a community? And the community involves everybody, because the government, as we put it, the government, the police, the church, all of these organizations are made up of people who live in these communities. So how do we as a community now work together to help to stem this tide of violence?
All right, let's take this
What
call.
is it that we need to do?
Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight and Laverne. Y'all can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yes,
4
good
p.m.
morning.
Good morning to the universe. Miss Gardner, I hear the news this morning, and I hear they was quoting the chairman, Fred Mitchell. I don't know if that's what he was saying. The PLP government still committed to do. His party still committed to do. Dwight.
Different. That's working on campaign finance reform.
Yeah. No, Dwight, I asked you what it was. I couldn't remember. I have a lot of things on my side. But Dwight, so I was saying I don't know if to take him serious with this one, because what he to tell us about the Freedom of Information bill or organization. We believe him when he to say that. So now today, hearing him being quoted that the campaign finance reform, all of them governments keep saying they could do. We don't know if the New Day government really take that important to do something like that, because if the freedom of information could be just as important or more important, and they say the PLP was an injury, I think maybe you might just be careful what he.
No. I think the lesson is believe everything Fred Mitchell says.
Believe everything what he says.
Yeah. So the government isn't really into freedom of information, but they're into campaign finance reform.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You say the government believe in it?
If he says they do, then believe it.
All of them governments say they do, and none of them that do it.
Just like we should believe it when he says that they don't.
Well,
I say let's take it with a bucket of salt. One last thing.
Before on, he says we're committed to developing a framework for campaign. Right. So
what a framework means.
Yeah, exactly. But setting the groundwork. They're doing whatever.
Dwight, when they say a pilot program, that's something what they try and push before they implement it fully, right?
Mm.
Well, they say they do that the other day with the breakfast program. That's like 4 or 3 months ago. I wonder if they finish with that pilot program now, if they can do it in all the schools, because I believe it's a need for breakfast. They encourage the children to come to school. Some of them might not have no breakfast, and I think it could help. So I want to encourage this New Day government to get on that if the trial period already, or what you call it, the pilot program. Dwight, when I listened to the WhatsApp yesterday in the news, all 2 of the people them dead would get shot yesterday. All 2 of the people dead, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
Both of them died.
Right, I remember when I get blind, right, I get shot, right, I lose my sight. That's 35 years ago, around in 1989, right? And I always wondered, these people them who getting shoot, if it's more we could do to save them. Now, listen to me, them people who get killed, they might be known to the police, ankle bracelet, then allegedly charged with killing people and all that. Man, that hurt me, that bring tears yesterday, even if that person is the worst person in the world. To hear him asking the people around him, man, please, lift me up, man. Don't let me lay down. If you let me lay down, I could feel like a dead. I'm not going to live if you let me lay down. They telling him, lay down. He's saying, where I get hit, where I get shoot. They say you get shot in your head. And now, this morning, to hear the person there, I wonder if there's more we could do as a citizen. I know CPR and all that stuff. I wonder if there's more we could do, like take some lessons and stuff that when we meet these shot-off victims or these shoot-off victims, that we could try to help them until the ambulance reach. That hurt yesterday, even if he used the voice in the world, I hear him say, don't let me lay down, please, pick me up, lift me up, let me sit up, please. I feel better if I sit up. If you let me lay down, I get dead. And the man dead today. I wish there's more we could do. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Let's take this call. We've got a lot of text messages coming through. We'll get to those in a bit. Let's take this call, though. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Dwight, hats off to Laverne. Laverne, I think she's very bright and very poignant what she was saying. And you cannot disagree. And, of course, the VIT with the family structure and the homes, right? But, Dwight, thanks for correcting the VIT in its limited view of what the problem really is. It's basically it's a multiplicity of things, right, Dwight?
Absolutely.
All right. And so, my condolences to the young man. Even though they see he was out on bail and charged for murder. So that doesn't mean he's guilty. But in most instances, maybe they mix up in this BS, this tit for tat foolishness that's going on. And so it moved me too, and I'm quite hardened, Dwight. And I saw him to see him like that. And, I hate to say this, right? But maybe they should use these footages in their endeavor to go into the schools and impede young children from joining these particular models. And so what I'm saying is this would maybe highlight a lot of problems. I mean, this gets solved because what I'm saying, Dwight, on the ground in the inner city, right? You're seeing where they're seeing this, but they're not being impeded. You see what I'm saying, Laverne? The guys see that if you kill someone and you go to jail and you come out and you get mixed up in the gang, get banged or whatever, they're not, I don't know what's going on. It's like they're blind to the repercussions of it. And so then there's a guy called Chivago Lang yesterday I was listening, right? And so, to me, Lang is, it's good to bring on people who are involved in this and try to get, but he's quite limited in what he's seeing because I'm on the ground in the inner city, okay? Now, everybody's saying about sense of community, but most of the people that I know have moved out of the inner city. And so I grew up in the outskirts, but then the homestead, and there's a family business here, so I have a chance to be in the inner city and see the transition. As a senior man, if I can't articulate what I'm seeing, then nobody can, okay? Now, what I'm seeing is you have displacement of Bahamians, and so there's a lot of foreigners in the inner city. This is basically Little Haiti. Now, I interact with some of them, and some of them are very friendly. But how can I have a sense of community when we are inundated with foreigners in the inner city, and then we don't have people like Louis George, them, advocating for the Bahamian and the Haitians to come together and live together peacefully. But they call themselves Bahamians, but I don't see them doing anything for Bahamians, okay? They're not trying to make us more compatible with one another. They're seeing the schism, but they're sitting back, all right? And the PM them is cloaking this guy, but I'm not seeing him doing anything for him. Nobody.
Are you saying that this is part of the problem with the murder count that we're seeing?
No, what I'm saying is right. I hear people spreading fear about the soap on. Listen to me, the Haitian fellas in the inner city, if they tell me they're so, all that means to me is they're Haitian. They make all us is cool. Everybody cool, But I don't know why the outer skirts people, everybody cool. I could go to I know all the Haitian beaming guys. I grew up a lot of them. The ones from foreign would come with the American accent. I know a lot of them too. But you don't know all. But this is where the sophistication comes in. So the fact that the government has been sitting ducks for too long, and then they want to blame everything. Like I said, they don't really, even as he mentioned, the problem within the homes, Dwight. There are multiplicity of reasons for children becoming incorrigible. There's no one fit all. Children are being molested, being abused, all kinds of things going on in the inner city. Like, man, we have to articulate things and make known things, I had an argument with my brother, and he was saying, I can't do this and I can't change this. I don't want to change anything, Dwight. I want to highlight and make known. I only am one man. But I tell you, if a lot of people had my mind, the Bahamas would be in a better place because euphemistic words, while youths are killing out one another, and there's nothing seems to be done. They know what they could do. They watch the movies in the States. They know what to do. They know how to curtail this. All I see is a bunch of people calling themselves this and that, trying to make people believe they could impede crime without dealing with it in a holistic way, Dwight. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much. It was a lot of different things brought up there. Okay. All right. One more call, and then we got to take a break.
One thing. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you go on, Laverne. We'll come to call in a second. Yeah. Okay. Don't forget.
There's one thing that I wanted to say in all of that just now. If we, I know, I think it was Papa who said it. Sometimes because we hear that this person was out on bail who was murdered. This person was out on bail with 4 charges or whatever. And we think, so sometimes we categorize life and the value of life. Oh, because it was such and such and he did such and such, maybe our reaction is different if it was someone who we feel isn't in that lifestyle and so they didn't deserve this. But to just have compassion that a life is lost, to see that a life is lost and value that, I think that's a part of our issue too, even as we view what's going on. Sometimes we figure, oh, well, he killed, so let him be killed. But if we just see that our lives are being lost.
Okay, well, that one's going to be a hard sell, but I hear you. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
Okay, good. This morning, I really felt like throwing up a bit when we had your first 2 callers calling in with the same Scotch records. Now, I'm not saying they're not correct with what they're saying. They are. But what they must remember, Dwight, is that what the problems that they're talking about is only 1/4 told by. That's why I'm calling Dwight to personally thank you, to thank Laverne, and to thank 52 for taking it in depth. Because obviously these myopic thinking, it's a whole pie we have to consume. You understand? And proper use, my boy. But I'm sorry. My grandmother say an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. When these young men then get themselves in all kind of problems and stuff like that and get shot, especially the headshots, what in the world you think much more the civilians can do, Papa? Ain't nothing much we could do. You understand? And then the medics will always tell you, don't touch the body because you may compromise them. You may cause them to die. So ain't nothing you could do. What they need to do is take heed of what's going on and stop the foolishness, what they're doing. Lord, it's up my way. Thanks, Dwight, for taking my call.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Wow. Okay, let's read a couple of your messages, and then the rest of those, and a lot more. I want you to hear from what the F&M is saying about crime, and some more of their response to what the government is saying about their crime plan. Okay, so this text here. So the big show of wicked people with absolutely no intention of turning from their wicked ways, dramatically raising hands, grimacing, and crying aloud for all to see didn't work. Oh boy, is that what they're talking? They're talking about the prayer, the day of prayer service. Is that what? It's dark. It's very dark, Texter. This person says, yes, surprise. Now can we start the business of returning a general sense of law and order? Again, no need for dramatics with roadblocks and men in black with guns. Just do the job of enforcing the law that's been neglected for going on 7 years now. I think they might need both. Anyway, start with a statement of 100% transparency, zero patronage, and no pay for pay in Parliament or Cabinet. It is the government. It is the police. For years now, the sense of law and order in this town has deteriorated. Rampant corruption at the top will degrade into lawlessness. Almost 30 years ago, 60 Minutes aired a piece with a group of orphan elephants in Africa who were acting very un-elephant-like, going out of their way to attack other animals. The solution? They introduced law and order in the form of an older female elephant. The juveniles calmed down. Our entire country's sense of law and order is gone. Everybody trying to cheat some system. We need the body responsible for governance to restore a sense of that someone is responsible, who doesn't stand for foolishness anywhere, is in charge. It ain't the young boys that's the problem. It is the people bribing and sweethearting and asking for tip and jaywalking, etc. That's the problem we need to solve. All right. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. We do need to have that approach, right? And this CCTV, we need people, because the police might not be there to catch you running that light, like that taxi driver this morning who was in the lane to turn left, who went straight in front of all of us. That person. Anyway, people like you, if you were to get a picture somehow showing you, and you got this bill, come and pay this, or else, You're going to be less likely to do that. We're not putting the technology to use. We have it, they claim, and they keep saying they're going to do more of it.
So let's use it.
Use it.
Why? What's the hold up? Why aren't we using it?
I don't understand it.
If we have it in place, do we have people trained? All of this helps.
Yeah.
And all of this is a part of the lawlessness. The person who cut all of you off, the people who only want to do their job, that they are hired to do, that they receive a salary for, wanting you to tip them, as we call it. To me, it's like a bribery, but okay. We call it a tip. It's all of these things that have gone unchecked that also contributes to this lawlessness that we see. And so that aspect of what the text is saying, I agree with.
Yeah.
We should always pray. Always pray. We should continue to pray. We should continue to believe and trust that God can give us the strength and the guidance to navigate this road that we are on.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to be back in a bit. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Where people smile but it's fake. How could they smile if you look around and surrounded by pain? I seen the sky turn to gray. It took the light from the day. It's like the heads of the state ain't comprehending the hate that the oppressed generate when they've been working like slaves.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. Millions of Americans are still bundling up in that fiercely cold weather. In Portland, Oregon, a power line fell onto a car, killing 3 people during an ice storm. Fire and rescue spokesman Rick Graves says he's never seen anything like this.
I've had situations where we have had individuals come in contact with electricity and not make it, but nothing as a result like where we are in a winter.
TV in Portland. Should the governor of New Mexico, a Democrat, be impeached? 2 Republican state lawmakers think so.
Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham invoked emergency public health orders last year, suspending the right to carry firearms in some public places in greater Albuquerque, such as parks and playgrounds. The order was in response to a spate of gun violence. Now Republican Representatives Stephanie Lord and John Block have filed a resolution aimed at initiating impeachment proceedings against Lujan Grisham. The Republicans say the governor has violated her oath of office to uphold state and federal constitutions. Lord says the governor has too much power and is acting like a dictator. A governor spokesperson says Lord and Block are more interested in political stunts than crafting meaningful legislation. I'm Donna Warder.
Funeral services today in Florida for former First Lady Melania Trump's mother will be private. She died January 9th in Miami at the age of 78. Overseas now, Japan has just signed a deal with the United States to buy Tomahawk cruise missiles. Part of its military buildup as regional threats increase. Is dismissing a U.S. proposal to resume a dialogue on nuclear arms control, saying it's impossible while Washington offers military support to Ukraine. No word yet on whether those medicines that arrived in Gaza yesterday have actually been given to hostages of Hamas. This is AP News. Now about that on a highway in Tennessee.
While out keeping the roads safe, one Tennessee sheriff's deputy came upon an unusual road hazard captured on his dash cam video. Hamilton County Sheriff's Deputy Ricardo Santiago found a horse Tuesday trotting along on Highway 27.
Located a horse passing Thrasher right now. He's just going on northbound.
The deputy drove near the horse to keep it from other vehicles.
Somebody called in advising that horse was going to belong to her neighbor. Her name and number's on the card. They're trying to get some resources together to come get it.
Eventually, someone with a horse trailer did arrive, and the deputies and the driver were able to load the wayward horse in the middle of the highway. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The Dow was down 94 points yesterday. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
turn around and you blame them for their anger and rage. Put them in shackles and chains because of what they became. We are the monsters you made.
Calling me a monster, calling us fake. You make them undertow the dinosaur awake. Calling me a monster just cause we said no way, no way, no way. Calling me a monster, make no mistake that there's only so much that you can take. La-dee-da-da-doo-dee-da-da-doo-dee. We are the monsters you made.
I bet they thought it was cool, probably thought we was fools when we would break all the rules and skip them classes in school. Because the teacher them teaching what the white man them teaching, them European teach the classes in school. Mumbo Park and the fool, that's how they found River Niger. They've been lying to you, ain't no denying the truth. See what I'm trying to do, is draw the line for the mothers crying, we're dying as youth. Come walk a mile in my shoes, see if you smile at the truth. See if you digest your food, that's when you might have a clue of what the we go through. You're fucking lucky if you live through the day, better pray that God always stay here with you. Ain't fucking safe any day, the reaper be coming for you. We need a change and it ain't no way I'ma take an excuse. My finding a way, or fucking smile in the grave. This is the price that you pay, we are the monsters you made.
It's focus, focus. Calling me a monster, calling us fake. You make them undertow the dinosaur awake. Calling me a monster just cause we said no way, no way, no way. Calling me a monster, make no mistake that there's only so much that you can take. La-dee-da-da-doo-dee-da-da-doo-dee. We are the monsters you made.
Since we met you people 500 years ago, you are still taking. In exchange for that, we have got nothing. Nothing. And you know it. But don't you think that this is over now? Over where? Is it over?
Rounded by pain, I seen the sky turn to gray. It took the light from the day. It's like the heads of the state ain't comprehending the hate that the oppressed.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:25, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. We've got a quasi-stationary front lingering across northwest Bahamas. That's going to gradually lift northward, supporting some showers and cloudy skies. Meanwhile, high-pressure ridging will continue to support moderate winds over the southeastern Bahamas. So there are some warnings. There's a risk of waterspout activity in the area near the front, and beachgoers should exercise caution along northern and eastern shoreline of rip currents. So your forecast for today: for the northwest Bahamas, mostly cloudy and a bit breezy with isolated showers and the chance of isolated offshore thunderstorms over the extreme northwest Bahamas through tonight. Winds northeast to east at 15 knots with higher gusts decreasing to 10 to 15 knots by this afternoon. For the central Bahamas, partly cloudy and breezy with a few stray showers, and that will continue through tonight. Smallcraft advisory remains in effect in the southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs getting up to the upper 70s, lows tonight getting down to about 68 Fahrenheit, 20 Celsius. In your extended outlook, that cold front is going to move into the extreme northwest Bahamas on Friday morning, with a secondary reinforcing cold front pushing through by Friday night. This front will produce gusty winds and higher seas on Saturday, with cooler temperatures filtering into the area by Sunday as strong high pressure builds across the northern Bahamas. The features will produce dangerous boating and beaching conditions starting Saturday afternoon into most of next week, And mariners are being advised to seek safe harbor by early Saturday morning. And beachgoers should stay out of the water due to rough surf and hazardous rip currents along Atlantic exposed beaches. So for Friday, tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy, very warm and humid with a stray shower or two. Isolated showers possible in the extreme northwest Bahamas by Friday afternoon into the night. Then Saturday, variably cloudy and breezy with a few stray showers possible over portions of the islands. Brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints, inviting you or telling you they've got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. And we've got a look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC, rbc.com/Caribbean for more information. We've got a number of hot spots to tell you about this morning. You're going to need a lot of patience as you make your way around New Providence today. Okay, so Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic from St. Vincent Road straight up to Independence Drive, the roundabout there. And once you get past Robinson Road, you can still see some more traffic on the way to Wolf Road if you're heading northbound. But very heavy traffic from about Carmichael straight to the roundabout Independence Drive. And Independence Drive is backed up in both directions, especially westbound this morning. And East Street also busy for you from Bamboo Boulevard and Sapodilla Boulevard straight up to Soldier Road. That intersection looking busy. From there, northbound to about Robinson Road, you're going to be seeing heavy traffic, especially as you approach the East-West Highway roundabout. Marla Butler Highway, also heavy traffic from south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway and even extending into the Six-Legged roundabout. And multiple directions seeing heavy traffic there, eastbound on JFK and southbound New Providence Highway as well. JFK Drive, heavy traffic between the roundabout at Prospect Ridge and Bahamar Boulevard, especially westbound. Glasner Road, though, not looking so bad this morning. So, we also have West Bay Street near Saunders Beach, heavy traffic eastbound as you head toward the roundabout New Providence Highway. And then Eastern Road, looking like very slow-moving traffic for you just east of San Souci to about all the way to Village Road and into Shirley Street. Heavy traffic on Shirley straight through to Mackey Street this morning. That's unusual at this hour, but that is quite something. So backed up from Mackey Street all the way to Eastern Road past San Souci. Keep that in mind as you're in that area. And Village Road, heavy traffic both directions. North, from Montague straight down to the busy intersection with Bernard Wolf, also backed up between Soldier and Marathon Road. Good luck this morning. You'll need it. That's your Morning Blend traffic brought to you by RBC. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
There's a new electric vehicle in town. The Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans. Available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road and don't you pump gas no more.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching costs, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Whether you're looking for your first or new home or even using your existing home as equity, RBC understands that your journey to home ownership is unique and your mortgage for that. That is why at RBC we have dedicated mortgage specialists that provide sound advice and helpful solutions to make your dream home a reality. Best of all, the RBC mortgage team is mobile, flexible, and will meet you almost anywhere. Visit rbc.com/take 60 seconds to connect with an RBC mortgage specialist.
Saturday, February 17th, Foreign Currency presents Burna Boy performing live. Spillgate 2024 with Burna Boy live. Also performing Rich Homie Quan, 38 Afri, Dro Capone, Bank Civelli, Sky Goose Band, Bloody, Fat Shaw, Puzzle, Judah the Lion, Jay Shepard, music by DJ Tag, DJ Hennessy, DJ Matt Bull, AJ Unruly, DJ Melody, and much more. Hosted by Natural Empress, Rika C, Pencil, and Aaron Ray for Spillgate 2024 with Burna Boy live. For info, Skybox, Skypods, and tables, call 802-9460 or 816-5247. Spillgate 2024, Saturday, February 17th at Fort Charlotte. Don't!
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, a little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil, shrimp,
clays.
stew, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find color in every day.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching costs, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. Locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Struggling to repay your loan? Let us help you get back on track with payment terms that suits your financial situation and improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Inquire about our restructured loans today. Call us at 356-7764.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Fake, no way, no way, no way. Calling me a monster just 'cause we said.
We're from the block where it rains, where we create barricades, keep our position away. That's why we strap with the case. Don't get kidnapped from your place, 'cause it could happen today. Not knowing how it's the sign that you made. Just lose your life with the waste. Your body found in the lake. You around and the fisherman found you drowning for days. You know we come from a place where people smile but it's fake. How could they smile if you look around and surrounded by pain? I seen the sky turn to
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. We created these monsters, folks, and we got to slay them. Not necessarily with violence, but got to find a way. As that previous texter said, remember that one, Laverne? Maybe with a wise old elephant to guide the youngsters to a better path.
Yep.
The challenge will be finding the wise old elephant who isn't also a monster. But okay. Hey, Dwight,
that's going to be that would be a challenge, Dwight.
you say you don't think?
Oh.
Oh, okay. Sure.
You do not think? I think that there are people in our society who have wisdom and knowledge who would happily give guidance where they can.
Okay, let me adjust it then. People who have it, who people will listen to. Because I think there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge every day on this station. But people ain't listening. I don't know. They have it on, but are they doing the things? I'm shocked. I had a conversation this week with somebody who should know a whole lot better, who retweeted. I tell this tweeted somebody advising people to watch out because the cops are on this place, right? And I directly messaged them. I said, "Well, why did you repost that? Why did you do that? Because you should know better than that." And they're like proudly telling me, "Oh, they were driving around without their car licensed and without a driver's license for more than a year. And it was thrilling and exciting." I'm like, I'm ashamed to know you. I'm ashamed to know you. And I guess maybe, it won't make a difference. I can't call the police now. It won't make a difference. But this is what's going on. So the people around here who are really carrying on like, they're outraged by the stuff happening in the country that are some of the biggest violators. And that's probably the biggest problem in the country. Hypocrisy. If that were a crime, oh boy, if the police have enforced it. But
it is true that there are hypocrites, there are people, but I still believe that there are more of us who are not. And we just need to stand up, and maybe we need to highlight those people more.
Okay. I hear you. And we're working on it. It's bigger than normal. So that's affected everything. Our online, if you're on the website, you can't watch or listen to us. And if you're on our app, you can't watch or listen to us. So that's unfortunate.
Not your beloved app.
Yes. It's very unfortunate. But if you have any of the cable providers, their apps, so if you have Rev Cable Bahamas and BTC Flow to Go, their apps, you should be able to listen to us on them. I just checked out Rev Go app. We're definitely up on that. I know somebody had called in to say or texted to say that there was an issue with Flow a couple days ago. I don't know, but if there isn't anymore, we should be up on the Flow to Go app as well. So until we get sorted out, which we're hoping to in this morning, we're hoping that it carry us around that way if you don't have a radio, which apparently is like a dinosaur. It's very well getting there. What's something that's in short supply these days? Integrity.
Kindness.
Integrity. What was that? What did you say?
Kindness.
Kindness,
Consideration,
integrity,
patience.
yes, and radios. We don't have much of
Right.
those anymore in the world. Okay. They're saying the app is up now, yeah? Okay, so
Okay.
try it again, folks. We've been working and we're trying to see. It seems to be a little unstable, but so bear with us while we sort that out. Okay, we got a whole lot about the murder crisis in the country. And they're trying to figure out what's going on here. Right, the blame is in overdrive today. Everyone's pointing fingers, but we know that there's enough blame to go around here. Okay, so
We're very good at assigning blame. Let's bypass that and see what kind of solutions we could come up with and how we could play a role. We're very good at assigning blame.
well, listen to this amazing text message. You heard the report we played earlier. Yeah, somebody pulled up in one of the murder victims yesterday was in a Japanese vehicle, and somebody else in a Japanese vehicle, one of the little hatchbacks, I guess, pulled up alongside and right? Remember? All right, so this text says, "Morning, Dwight. It's another Japanese car involved in the latest murder, but you still want to be politically correct on this talk show." That's the text. What does that mean? Huh? What are you saying, texter? You want to blame Japanese vehicles? What do you want to do? Ban them? You want to sanction Japan? What are you saying? It's the crazy people driving them who are the problem. So what do you say? You want to round up everybody in a Japanese hatchback? I don't have an issue with that. But do you want to do that? Is that what you're saying? What is your problem? Okay. The cars aren't killing the people. And neither are the guns.
People in the car.
It's the people, right?
It's
So
the people,
and if you ban them, they'll find a Korean or an American car or a tank. They'll do whatever it
find
takes.
Another way to do it.
Bicycles.
Because it's the people.
They'll do whatever it takes. So I don't know what you're saying. Politically correct. Okay, let's be politically sensible. Anyway, this one says, "It's so unfortunate that our little country has many issues, problems, and murders. We are in chaos." Indeed. Dwight, why does Chief Superintendent Skippings always speak like she's giving advice or making an appeal? Well, yeah, she is. Clearly no one cares, so she needs to just state the facts and be quiet. Okay. Boy. See, Laverne, I tell you, every day there are people telling you, giving you advice, but the people aren't listening. They want to take that wise old elephant and rip out the tusks and sell it to the people who love ivory. So, okay. Boy. These guys are driving fully loaded on the roads every day. What does that mean? When we have to drive through 5 roadblocks just to get across the street, then maybe the public will take action and speak up. All right, so they're saying, that, yeah, this is someone sanctioning the roadblocks. There was a texter earlier who said the roadblocks don't make sense. Right, all right. This one says that this government has said no hanging, but the Privy Council lets council and join the criminal. Okay, well, you don't understand how things work here. If anybody here wanted to execute somebody, if any government, any administration, they trust me, they would have done it. Do they want to?
I don't think so.
No. It's not the Privy Council. Again, you're trying to blame everybody. You're trying to blame everybody else. No. There are some very people in this cabinet right now very strongly opposed to capital punishment of any kind, whether it's hanging or lethal injection or whatever. So that's not it. And as people say, what will it do? Will it really be a deterrent? Right? Everybody out on bail is getting murdered. Has it stopped people from wanting to get out on bail? Does it stop the people out on bail from moving around as if people out on bail aren't getting murdered? No, it doesn't do anything. And they're being executed, not by the state, we think, but they're getting executed. And yet, they're all about it. And as the previous texter pointed out, Japanese hatchbacks. So what will it do? Football on crime to end this go around. Now that I've heard they're calling some names here and all the apologists on the record saying it's not the government. We don't want to hear contrary when and if the government changes. because, as they say, it's the family. Interesting. So the Bahamas Christian Council, this is a text, spent a whole day praying to God, and God has answered. They're quoting Proverbs 29:15, the rod and reproof impart wisdom, but a child left unrestrained brings shame on his mother. This person says here, there must be a multifaceted approach. You have to deal with the clear and present danger, proper police work, and timely prosecutions. Run the court 7 days a week. Well, we asked Wayne Monroe about that yesterday. You heard what he said, right? To address the backlog of violent crimes. The other parts of are to socialize the youth. Mm-hmm. Did you hear that part, Laverne? What Wayne Monroe said when I asked him about that? How, will the juror...
No, I didn't hear that part.
Days and late nights and stuff. He says, what about the jurors? Will the jurors be into that? Will they be willing to give up their Saturdays and weekends and to come and hear cases? This text here, actually, if a trained individual was there, they could find the bullet entry and possibly exit wound and cover it up or wrap it up and tightly to stop the bleeding. This is about the call earlier.
Hmm.
Or you could just not shoot people.
Shoot people?
Just don't do it. Okay. No mention on the news about the stabbing of the 13-year-old boy in Grand Bahama. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Got to keep up. Traffic is at a standstill on the Eastern Road. Yeah, we're seeing that. Something is happening there. Eastern Road is backed up all the way to Mackey Street from Shirley. So, if you can turn off Eastern Road, you might want to do that. And take your chances with Bernard or even Prince Charles Drive. Even there you're going to have issues. But something's happening at Mackey and Shirley. Near Mackey, as you approach Mackey. That is highly unusual. Montague's looking terrible. And as we said, well past San Souci this morning. Heavy, heavy, heavy traffic. So get off Eastern Road if you can. Okay, call we'll get to in a second. This person says here, we in the Bahamas had left out of the wilderness, so to speak, that one stray sheep for far too long, allowing the country to consider its waywardness as the norm. Okay, what's going on with this? Convincing ourselves as though, in theory, it was a reasonable loss, a small impact on the bottom line, fraction of the Bahamas society. These are just words. What's going on? We must realize that no one should be considered collateral damage and to live in compassion for all persons. Okay, now finally making sense. I am of the belief that some pace setters, powers that be, and parents and guardians, in some instances, do not want to use the term a lawless society and are of the mindset that allowing people, children, to roam the streets as they want to allows people more freedom because there are no specific rules or regulations to follow. However, in reality, a lawless society often leads to chaos, insecurity, and the loss of individual freedoms. Without laws to protect people's rights and maintain order, face increased risks to their safety and well-being. Additionally, a lack of legal structure can lead to the rise of powerful individuals or groups who may infringe upon the freedoms of others. Therefore, while laws can sometimes feel restrictive, they also play a crucial role in safeguarding and promoting true freedom within a society. We all need to wake up as the bell has already rung, signifying that we are near in losing this fight in the area of crime. There is an inequitable distribution in the rule, and it appears that there is a disproportionate influence where it relates to normalizing this country. Okay, thank you for the text. This person's texting that somebody in a white Jeep Wrangler, and they have the license plate number here, that's hanging off, decides he's coming down the center of West Bay and cuts in at Nassau Street light going east, cutting off everyone. We've got to call these bad drivers out, name and shame. Okay. Wow. This person says here, As the commissioner of police, I would go on TV and radio and social media and say that as of February 1st, we will enforce all laws. You have to have an updated license and insurance, or the car is taken in. Helmets and roadblocks consistently, all times of the day. Have more undercover agents buying guns to see where it leads. Schools to educate kids early. Have open doors for parents. Nightclubs, no bottles, and have weapon scanners at the entrances. Okay. I mean, that should be the way it is all the time, right? I don't
That should be how we should have
Yeah.
already, but great ideas.
And then you would need fewer of those roadblocks, hopefully.
Right.
But all those things need to be going on, should have been going on. And yeah, the owners of these clubs and bars need to start putting in more security. Absolutely. But okay. I see when you start talking like that, that makes people believe you're not serious. If now we're going to start enforcing all the laws. Oh, okay. Now, well, thank you. But I hear you. And not bad if we're not doing those things already. I saw a guy acting aggressive towards his girlfriend in traffic today, hitting her, trying to get the phone out of her hand. But my first thought was the police will brush it off or just take too long to show up. We can't rely on our police. I've called too many times and have been brushed off or made to wait for 2 hours for them to show up. This person says, "Hey, Smile, it was not me that sent the text about the Japanese cars, but I think that only a person of responsibility with a level of accumulated wealth could afford a vehicle." Now, when was that? The 1920s? What are we talking about here? Okay, anyway. Now anyone could sell a bag of weed, and buy a Japanese vehicle, not insure it, and use it for crimes and traffic violations. There would be a lot less if they had to ride a bike. So what are you saying?
What are
you
saying?
saying here? You want to restrict people, to have only the wealthy people be able to buy cars? Is that what you're saying? I don't think this is going to make things better. Okay. Boy, wow. Remind folks to use their signals. It helps with traffic.
It helps in general.
Now everyone's calling out people today. They're saying an MP car.
You started this.
No,
started it,
I
Dwight.
didn't. I
Yes,
didn't.
you did.
I didn't
you
call.
started it
What?
because you.
You mean because of
were
the taxi
talking.
driver?
Yes.
Oh well.
And you said how you took
I
a
did
picture.
take his. I have his license. Yeah. Okay. Well. They're calling out an MP. Should I say the number? MP something ran the light just now. Like, oh boy.
I mean, and some people may say, "Oh, this is so petty," but it's these little things like that we've been doing for years that is against the law, and it all adds up.
Wow. What is this? Whoa. What is this? Someone just sent me a picture, a video. No. This is today? What is going on here? This, oh God, road rage. Well, this doesn't look like road rage. What is this? Some guys.
Why do you realize you're the only one who can see it, right? You have all of these expressions, and now all of your listeners, including your co-host, we're like sitting on the edge of our seat. What is going on? What are you looking at?
This isn't road rage. This is something else. So more of the little Japanese hatchbacks. A couple people jumping out of cars with cutlasses. And oh boy, okay. Well, maybe they're right. Maybe we do need to round up all the little hatchbacks. Wow. Okay, that's very disturbing. Let's take I can't even speak. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne. How y'all doing?
We are okay.
That's good. Listen, I heard several of your callers call and say that our problem is the family. To a certain extent, it is. But the thing is that this family problem is a generational problem. This can't be solved right away. We need immediate solutions. And it has to be through the government, through the enforcement of the law. and through the correction of whatever laws they need to do, they need to look at these laws, and they need to adjust them if they have to. I made an observation. See Cuba? Miami is filled with Cubans, and they are wreaking havoc criminally in Miami.
What?
Yes. But you notice, they don't do that in Cuba.
I don't think you're...
What's that?
I don't think that's correct. I mean, there are thousands, millions of people of Cuban descent living in Miami. I mean,
yeah, but my point is, it's a culture.
Oh, boy.
The discipline towards the law is not passed down because of the environment in America.
That's more of them being Americans than of being Cuban descent. That's just how Americans are. And we're trying to be like them, apparently. So I don't know if it's fair to say it's because they're Cubans.
What I'm saying, though, is that they came from a culture, their parents came from a culture where the law was observed and respected. Now they don't. So the culture that they came from, that is their ancestry in Cuba, was not passed down to them in America. That's my point. Cuban American, we can't deny that. But you notice what they're doing in Miami, and you notice that in Cuba that's not happening. There's a culture that has not been passed down. It's a generational thing.
What's the havoc they're wreaking in the Miami area? What are you seeing?
I watch Channel 7 every day, every morning, right after you guys. There's crime happening like crazy there.
Yeah, okay.
Like crazy. It's very dangerous. Bahamians may not realize it, but it's very dangerous to be in Miami now. But the point I'm trying to make is
you're not correct on this. I gotta stop you. I'm sorry.
I'm not correct on what?
That is not right what you're saying. And to say it's the Cubans, it doesn't make sense. And plus, if you watch that same channel you mentioned, look at all the people who are wanted. Look at all the people who are on the surveillance cameras people are claiming are the ones committing crimes. I don't know if you got that right. I don't think it's the Cubans who are actually. Let's not do that, folks. That's not what this is. And I know you're going to try to say that's what's happening in the Bahamas too, but it's the environment here that has done this, created the impression that we will allow anything to happen, and our Bahamians and other people who come in here are going along with the flow, right? Because apparently get away with it, or if you can't get away with it, just have the right amount of money to offer somebody and it might go away. So it has nothing to do where folks are coming from. They would fall in line if we were all in line. And you're completely off the mark with what you just said there. They've got a lot of crime in South Florida, absolutely, but it's across the board, anybody and everybody. And to say Cubans, that doesn't make any sense. No.
Dwight, if I can also add in, I think I could be wrong. I agree with what you're saying, but I think the point that the caller was making is that the people have not passed down their appreciation for the rule of law. And so you see a sense of lawlessness. And maybe the point that he was trying to make is that we have not passed down, or we have not shown this generation the importance of following the rules and following the law. And so we're seeing a sense of lawlessness. I believe that was the point he was trying to get to. Not so much that it's the Cubans causing.
Yeah, I get that.
But the fact that, I think that was really the point that he was trying to make.
Yeah, and I think just look at the point, right? So in a place where you have no tolerance of foolishness, people will act the way they are required to act. But when you have a anything goes type attitude until it's a crisis, anything will go. Oh, no. It's not outsiders coming in causing the issues.
Right. I don't think that's
there are issues with that,
was.
But that's not what's got us to this point here. Not at all.
It is, part of it is the fact that we are very careful about the laws. Yes, they need to be enforced 100%, but also do we find ourselves to be law-abiding citizens? You made a good point earlier, of whomever your friend was. He has to send out and warn the people who have not licensed and insured their cars the way they're supposed to. So he's letting them know, hey, there's a roadblock. It's that kind of thing. It's the not paying, not obeying simple traffic laws that are in place. It's all of these things, like we said.
And they're going to be bad apples. So to paint one whole group of people when they are the leaders of the community and also in the highest offices in the country or in the county and the whole area. I mean, he can't. Come on now. Come on. Yeah, they're horrible people and they're good people too, right? There are across bad apples, as people say, and pretty decent ones. But that type of talk will get us into bigger problems, right? Yeah. Okay, let's take a break. Got a lot more to talk about coming up in business, including what's happening in Grand Bahama and the government and the GBPA and this long-running saga. Oh, boy, how much more? We'll get into all of that and get through more of your messages as well. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Ain't comprehending the hate that the oppressed generate when they've been working like slaves to get some minimum wage. You turn around and you blame them for their anger and rage. Put them in shackles and chains because of what they became. We are the monsters you made.
Calling me a monster, calling us fake. You make them monitor the dinosaurs awake. Calling me a monster just cause we said.
At Wendy's, we know buying your new ride is a very personal experience to make. That's why we leave the car choice to you and ask that you leave the rest to one of our RBC Auto Finance specialists, trained to provide sound advice and helpful solutions to make your dream car a reality. The RBC Auto Finance team is mobile, flexible, and will meet you almost anywhere. Visit rbc.com/lovemyride to connect with an RBC Auto Finance specialist in your area.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next at doctorshosp.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, January 18th, 2024. Welcome back to Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. We're going to get to the story about the government upping the heat on the Grand Bahama Port Authority in just a bit. We just want to wrap up with what we've been talking about so far this morning, the crime situation and with the murders specifically, and just the sense and the fact that So many people are doing their own thing. You know, I mentioned earlier Laverne, the taxi driver this morning, but I see every day. I wish, boy. Just a couple of days ago, I mean, I just couldn't believe it. On a scooter, this guy, no helmet, with a little girl. She's like 5 in her school uniform, just weaving and bobbing through the traffic. No helmet, nobody. Just like, this is crazy. And this,
Are you supposed to wear a helmet?
excuse me?
I'm saying that sarcastically because
okay. I mean,
every
clearly
time
that's...
I don't know the last time I've seen someone who was on a motorcycle, who was operating a motorcycle or a scooter with a helmet on.
If I've seen 25 people on scooters or motorbikes this month, I've
Maybe
seen
one?
2 people with helmets on.
Okay.
But yeah.
And you know, some people may be listening and saying, oh, what do these little things have to do with the murder count? That's our attitude toward the law.
Yeah,
we all
absolutely.
say enforce the law. We all say we need more laws, right up until it has to apply to us.
Right.
Then it's a problem.
Yeah. All right, let's take this call and then we'll get to the rest of these text messages here. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. You bear with me for a minute, right? I listened to Minister Monroe on the radio yesterday, right? And I was kind of disappointed in not asking him hard, tough questions, but I guess he might have, I don't know,
like
didn't
questions
want to come
like
on
what?
if you said you were
Questions like
asking
what?
tough questions.
Questions like what?
Let me just give you a few points, and then you could.
No,
and
no.
then
Tell me
you-
the types of questions the hard questions.
Okay,
you
I'll give you example, right? You asked him about the ministers not declaring their assets and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just brushed it off, and he said something the public needs to do this, and the public needs to do that. My thing is this: see, this is why I put responsibility on the government more than the people. The government sets the tone for the country and the people. You always speak about persons driving badly on the road, running the red light, overtake, all kind of madness.
So what was the
way to
question that
stop-
was not...
Again?
He was asked about it and you heard his response. You take with that what you want. The question was asked. What other question was not asked?
Yes, but I'm saying to you,
No, you wanted me to argue with him and have a fight. And
it's
to
not
tell
an
him...
argument.
No,
of
so
fight,
what did you want?
No. This man is...
You heard his
security,
response.
right?
You heard his
He
response.
has an obligation to the people. He can't
Absolutely.
just dismiss MPs not declaring, because at the root of our problem in our country is lawlessness.
I agree with you. And
You
he didn't
can't
dismiss it.
expect-
He was
you
saying
can't
that
expect-
somebody said, why should we do anything when the MPs aren't declaring?
What I'm saying...
And he said, you can't be, if you are going to wait for something like that, you're looking for trouble.
What I'm
right?
saying to you is...
But what is the hard question that you did not hear?
I just told you one of the hard questions I just gave you,
Which was what?
which was, why don't you advocate more for MPs to declare their assets? Because you and the Prime Minister cannot expect persons to do the right thing if you're not doing the right thing. You want to punish persons who have unexplained wealth, who are
He
poor
answered
people
that
who are in
question.
gangs or whatever. But MPs who go into office with nothing and come out with millions, you don't want to punish them, or you don't want to find... See, the root of our problem, Dwight, is lawlessness and corruption. You cannot expect the small man to do the right thing if the people at the top aren't doing the right thing. The government has to set the tone.
He gave you
For the
his response
country.
to that question. What other hard question did you not hear?
See, right now you're being combative.
No, I'm not, because he answered all the things you wanted. You don't like the answer. It's a different thing from what your premise coming on the show, right? You heard what he said. You don't like it, so now you have to deal with this accordingly. You, as a voter, need to deal with that, right? You don't like what he said, and you don't like that he dismissed or was flippant about something he was asked about. You now go with that. You got your answers. You got them all. You don't like it? Do something about it. Right? Okay. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good day to the Strachan West. We need justice, law, and order in the Bahamas here.
Hi.
Dwight, how are you? And I'm your co-host.
We're here.
We all are here, thank God. But I agree with the gentleman with last call, because I was listening to you all, right? I sat right down, I continue listening to you and Wayne, right? And I said to myself, honestly, I can tell you how I speak, how I thought of your situation, but I want to make out a point. I said to myself, do I sound like he's a yes, boss? Because he was continue saying yes. Mm-hmm. And he was in questioning him, according to the first question, according to what he had said.
Yeah.
Okay.
What other things would you like? Right? What other things would you have liked to have been asked on the show yesterday?
Well, a lot of things. I wasn't satisfied with your yes. Every time they say yes.
He made a lot of great points.
The thing is, he might have made a lot of great points, but yet the Bahamian people are suffering. They're not getting justice. And when he talked about when he had answered you pertaining to person what did not declare, the way he answered that was wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay? He's supposed to give you... He just answered it wrong. My other point is, right, what I'm trying to figure out, why the people in our country so angry now for the past several years, just about everybody so angry. I mean, angry. You go on a jitney, somebody will brush aside you, they won't say excuse, they'll try to push you down, they even won't say excuse, and they have little children walking behind them. And not only that, there's just a bunch of angry people for no reason. Our people were not socialized properly, the majority of our people. I cannot walk through a crowd without saying, excuse me. If I walking through a crowd and I miss and touch somebody, I'm going to say, excuse. I grew up like that. People are not like that today. And I don't see how, if the governments cannot bring justice to this, or bring a better living for this 400,000 people, what's they going to do if they get 500,000? Okay, or $1 million? They won't be able to handle it because they're not handling it now, and something needs to be done now. You see, you just can't, or some people just can't, just beating up the nation over the radio and not getting out there on the street and doing something. Okay? And the government cannot do it either. Because the people are angry, and if they're not saying the things or doing the things what needs to be happening for this country, then we'll go downhill. And we need to stop ourselves from going downhill now. Thank you for your time.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
I called just to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Because I didn't really want to argue and beat up my gums and start attacking people. They want you to attack somebody, eh?
Perhaps.
That's not your job. Your job is to ask the questions such as, what are we doing about corruption? And we don't need any more laws. We have more laws than England. We need enforcement. If you are supposed to disclose, and you didn't, by the time you're supposed to, there's nothing else but prosecute you. So I expect to see about 50 prosecutions tomorrow. Yep. I don't know. Who cares? See...
And that is up to the Prime Minister and to the AG's office, I guess, right?
So what you do is you put the military on the street if you must, but at least you put 1,000 police sitting on the street, and you incentivize them. 20% of every ticket will go to them. They have a body camera, of course, and you have cameras now like you wouldn't believe in all the intersections. So Make me a motorcycle cop. I ride a scooter, and I do put a helmet on, by the way. And anybody jumping over that line, I'm going to paint the line yellow, not white. I get painted yellow. And if you go over that line, after that light turns amber, let's be British. And if you don't have a debit, credit, Visa, we're not coming looking for you at warrant. That just clogs up the whole criminal system. We're going to take your car if you don't have a debit card. And I guarantee you, it ain't going to be long before nobody jump in that light. See, because when you go over that yellow line and the light goes yellow and then it changes, nobody could go in the next direction. You ever had that experience, Dwight?
I have, many times.
Blocking up and grid tying the place? But see how simple it is to fix? Now, ain't one police listening right now wouldn't want 20% of every ticket as a bonus. Woo! There's a 24 that police would embrace. See, we don't want to fix it, Dwight. That's the bottom line. And when you want to fix it, let me know. But until then, we should do a show one day on the real. But it's a joke. If you're not going to take control of your streets, you look at Giuliani in New York. People were jumping on the subway and not paying. Spank them. And so if you're riding, we need a highway patrol. Since we don't want to go to military on the street, a highway patrol 24 hours a day. Because if you have a car at the top of Kemp Road, the middle of Kemp Road, and the south of Kemp Road, and I'm using Kemp Road, but it could be any other place, Robinson Road, anything happen, you got a police a few feet away. And they do it in Miami, so it's not like a communist police on the street. They do it in Miami downtown, police on every corner. You ain't got to run them. And see, if you control your streets, and Mr. Monroe, the Honorable, I like Mr. Monroe. This is constructive criticism I'm giving. If you say, look, your car light broken, I got your license plate, I put that in the computer in the police car, which we have. So if any other police catch you tomorrow with the same broken light, that's a fine. And you can pay the fine on the spot with a debit, credit, whatever you got, cashless. And if you don't, we impound the car till you bring the payment. Not going to give you a little summons and then we got to hunt you down and you live through the corner and you might even live in a unregulated place. Let me be nice and no number on your house, so we can't fine you. See, we need to take and grab the streets back. Once you grab in line, capital punishment. And I can wrap up with this one. I don't subscribe to it 100% because you could get the wrong person. But lethal injection? No, I think you should. I think you should be. Your homegoing should be the same way that you inflicted on the person you killed.
Oh boy.
Nothing nice. But anyway, let's leave it. Okay. Let's wrap up the streets, Dwight. Let's wrap up the streets.
Yeah, thank you very much. Oh gosh. Okay. We'll take this final call, and then we need to get to these messages and some other things here. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Miss Gardner.
Hi.
I hope you're doing well. You know, Dwight, I agree with Berman and the other guy. Wayne Monroe, he's a spin doctor. I didn't feel no comfort. I didn't feel any much way better than before he came there.
Well, I don't know if you were supposed to.
No, what you mean? What's his portfolio? He's the minister of what?
National
security, Dwight. Okay. We ought to feel secure in our country, right? And if the minister can't give us that security, who can? We can't carry guns. We're not allowed to carry guns. Some people are, you know. But the average citizen cannot defend himself against somebody with a gun who's not supposed to have a gun, and he's the national security minister.
I mean, that premise is also flawed. We got a minister of health, and a lot of people don't feel healthy.
No, I have control over my health. I don't have control of my protection. When you have hooligans running this country, Dwight, what is he proposing to? What type of legislation he is proposing to bring to the Parliament in regards of increasing the penalty for the possession of illegal firearms? The Commissioner of Police has been advocating for stiffer at killing people. Yes, it is the people behind the guns, but it's the guns. You can't stop these people? You said you can't prove that the $500,000 that's supposed to be the penalty for gangs. So you can't prove whether the person was in the gang, but you can prove whether they are in possession of a firearm. Put that $500,000 on them. You know, come on, man, make it make sense. You know, and these magistrates the other day, I would like to ask him, how was it that a magistrate could give somebody probation for having a firearm? A 17-year-old boy given probation for having a firearm. What message are you sending to the public out there? Okay, if my 17-year-old child or grandchild, whatever, is found with a gun, don't you think I expect what happened to that man, that young person after my child too, Dwight?
Okay, so we're talking about two different things here,
No,
right? So
I am talking about governance, and I'm talking about
that's
the
the
court.
judiciary, right? The courts, the
The
magistrate.
court is a part of the government.
Yeah, they don't tell them what to do, though, right?
But that is it. But the courts are not supposed to. If the courts have to if they have their own rights, there's no reason for the Attorney General to draft the laws if the court's going to decide how the law is going to be implemented. That doesn't make sense to me, because they can decide whatever they want to decide. The parliamentarians go to the court, go to Parliament, what the Parliament says, and they should not have no discretion, okay? Because it came from the Attorney General office, who is over the courts. Even if the court have whatever kind
And
of...
that matter will likely be challenged as being unconstitutional. Unconstitutional. You gotta. You're looking for trouble there, and those things came up yesterday, right? You cannot be seen to be violating people's rights there, according to the Constitution, right? And so you're looking to completely limit any discretion that a judge has. So there are hard and fast rules. And I mean, that might sound good right now, but that could have severe consequences, right? So, and again, that's the judiciary there. That's not national security per se. But, all right, one more call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
I'm Mrs. Gardner. Dwight and Miss Gardner on the Bahamas. I want you all to Google Senator Joe Biden 1993 crime bill speech. I mean, there was violent times, violence. So in 94, Clinton signed that bill into act. That bill was not playing with crime. Remember, if you see the one pardon, her drug offense gave her life because of that Biden crime bill. I mean, that didn't play with crime. Violent criminals went to jail for 20, 30, or life. Drug dealers, same way too. But at the same time in Florida, Governor Jeb Bush did 10, 20 life. And he said, I will tie the hands of these bleeding heart judges and these high-priced lawyers, these criminal defense lawyers. It's one thing we have. We have a problem here. We have criminal defense lawyers in charge. They take big money. Like Kamala Harris, they've been prosecutor lawyers all their life. Prosecutor lawyers is different from defense lawyers. Like women don't care about the rights and being on bail. If you on bail, you cannot break a law again. You go back to jail. You can't be on 4 bails. When the judge put you on bail, some of your rights is taken away from you. He tell you if you break a law again, you go to jail. How one little boy can be on jail? Have 4 bails, and that's right. When you're on bail, you are governed under some of your.
All right. Thanks a lot. And as was also said yesterday, it is not clear whether it is 4 different bails. It is 4. He's accused of 4 murders, but it could be all at one time. We don't know. But okay. Boy, wow. Couple messages, and then we need to move on. The authority. I mean, Laverne, that one's going to be just as annoying. The whole place. Is there a quiet key to go to? I mean, that might be the best idea for some of us. This person says, "Tell me, Dwight, you need to call the number of those license plate or the MP one, right? If it were a common man, you would gladly call the plate. No, I got 3 people sending me license plates of people doing foolishness today. I have not called any of them. So no, that's not right. Okay. Good morning, Dwayne. Who's that? The lady made sense. We turn a blind eye until it comes to our doors. Okay. Why so hostile with your guess? If the caller was not satisfied with his answer, he was not satisfied. Yeah, okay. So be not satisfied. Don't say that you didn't answer the right question. He was asked, and that was the answer. And you heard the answer. If you don't like it, you got to do something. Okay. This person says here, oh my gosh. Okay, I can't read that. We have, what? Can you tell us, Dwight and Laverne, if the national prayer was praying for what? Do you understand that?
Yeah. They're saying during the national prayer, were they praying to come up with a plan, or they were praying for a plan that it's already existed or in place?
Okay. The last caller who asked why didn't you ask a particular question? Why didn't he ask the question that he's begging to ask for? What? I mean, the question was asked. Okay. Our problem on the roads are just these roach cars. Are truly these roach cars? What now? The roads are infected with them. And they have Japanese cars. Okay, roach cars. Why are they roach cars? How are they roach cars? I don't understand. What does that mean? Because of the people? The people are the roaches, or the size of roaches? What do you say?
Maybe they mean because of the amount of them on the road.
This is going to be a long road, folks. You see by the messages and the calls we've been getting, this is going to be a long road to get out of this mess that we're in. It's going to be a long, 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 painful road. And we didn't get here overnight, and we're not going to get out of it overnight, but it's going to be painful.
And that's the thing. And I think that's part of the problem. We're, looking for an overnight solution. We're looking for someone, like I said this week, to wave a magic wand and have everything just be okay or be normal. We have to be prepared to put in the work over the long haul. Everybody.
Indeed. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the government and Grand Pound Port Authority. This back and forth is continuing as well. More long roads. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us, folks. We're going to be back in just a bit.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
There's a new brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Struggling to repay your loan? Let us help you get back on track with payment terms that suits your financial situation and improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Inquire about our restructured loans today. Call us at 356-7764.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The Department of Labor will seek, where possible, to find positions for many of the highly skilled former Pharmachem Technologies employees who were made redundant when the pharmaceutical company closed its doors earlier this month. Roughly 140 employees were impacted by the closure, which cited unprecedented challenges in being able to continue operations. Minister of Labor and Public Service Pia Glover-Roll said that in some cases where there are no current positions for those workers, the department will seek to find them employment in the interim. You can read more about what she's saying in today's Guardian Business section. Glover-Roll also saying that the government will take whatever legal and legislative measures are needed to ensure workers are not disenfranchised once the new National Insurance Board rate increase takes effect. Glover-Roll's comments coming after President of the 242 Small Business Association Resource Center, Mark Turnquist, said earlier this month he suggested to his clients that they take on more part-time employees to manage labor costs. Speaking to reporters yesterday outside the House of Assembly, Glover-Roll said amendments that speak to how to capture employees, especially in Grand Bahama, and casual laborers. She says they're investigating and analyzing the level of workers, and then they will seek to respond to businesses trying to opt to move in the direction of part-time workers. More on this in today's Guardian Business section as well. The Bahamas National Statistical Institute releasing the Consumer Price Index for October 2023, revealing that during that month, inflation increased by 0.1% when compared to September 2023. The BNSI said the October increase followed a 0.2% increase between August and September of last year. It said the major inflationary increases during October came from health and furniture and furnishings, which showed increases of 4.7% and 2.2% respectively. And the NASA Paradise Island Promotion Board launching a campaign last week in Los Angeles to publicize new direct flights offered out of that city and the LAX airport, transforming the atrium of that city's Westfield Century City shopping mall into a tropical beach destination. Both Alaska Airlines and JetBlue now fly direct from LAX to Lynden Pindling International Airport. JetBlue beginning its direct service in November, while Alaska Airlines began its direct flights from both LAX and Seattle, Washington in December. Overseas, artificial intelligence is easily the biggest buzzword for world leaders and corporate bosses. Diving into big deals at the World Economic Forum's glitzy annual meeting in Davos, breathtaking advances in generative AI stunning the world last year, and the elite crowd is angling to take advantage of its promise and minimize its risks. In a sign of ChatGPT maker OpenAI's skyrocketing profile, CEO Sam Altman made his Davos debut to rockstar crowds, and his benefactor, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, hot on his heels, illustrating AI's geopolitical importance like few other technologies before it. The word on the lips of world leaders from China to France, AI, and it was quite visible across all the after parties as well. And a severe drought that began last year has forced authorities to slash ship crossings by 36% in the Panama Canal, one of the world's most important trade routes. The new cuts announced Wednesday by authorities in Panama are set to deal in expected. Canal administrators now estimate that dipping water levels could cost them between $500 million to $700 million in 2024 compared to the previous estimates of $200 million. One of the most severe droughts to ever hit the Central American nation had stirred chaos in the 50-mile maritime route, causing a traffic jam of boats, casting doubts on the canal's reliability for international shipping and raising concerns about its effect on global trade. On Wednesday, Panama Canal Administrator saying that they would cut daily ship crossings to 24 after already gradually slashing crossings last year from 38 a day in normal tides. The administrator adding that in the first quarter of the fiscal year, the passageway saw 20% fewer or less cargo and 791 fewer ships than the same period the year before. In your Market Watch recapping, trading on the BISX from Wednesday, your market movers. Fidelity Bank moving 1,000 shares, closing unchanged at $17.75. Consolidated Water unchanged at $6.55. Emira Incorporated down 23 cents, closing at $9. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,891.03, down 0.24. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, Morning Blend Business. All right, so Dwight, Strachan, and Laverne Gardner here. We are moving on to Grand Bahama and the government upping the heat on the GBPA. Our Candia Dame's writing about it in today's NASA Guardian. The Davis administration has abandoned its bid to acquire the Grand Bahama Port Authority. That's according to PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell. He said this on Wednesday, adding that the government is instead pursuing efforts to get all it is owed by the GBPA for services provided to Freeport. Mitchell saying, quote, my briefing from the Prime Minister. Again, why is he talking about this? Anybody? He's the, what is this do you know what this is about here? Why is he talking about this? My briefing from the Prime Minister is that the offer is off the table. On the fact of what the Grand Bahama Port Authority owes the Bahamas government for the services the Bahamas government has offered to the city of Freeport. He said he could not say why the offer was being withdrawn. He said, quote, I can speculate. I don't think the offer is being taken serious. It's outstanding for some time. Asked what this means for the people of Grand Bahama, Mitchell, who was also the Minister of Foreign Affairs, said, quote, I think the public policy was laid out by the Prime Minister, which is that the city is underperforming. The shareholders don't have, it appears, the ability to carry out the functions of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, which is to be the promoter of the city, to attract investment, to upkeep the infrastructure, that the island of Grand Bahama, other islands had growth in their GDP. Grand Bahama had a slide in its GDP, so the complaints have been coming to the government. The government actually has been carrying the city for some time. So the question is, how do you get it moving again? And that's why things came to where they were and why I speculate things are where they are now. As you may recall, in his budget communication to Parliament last May, Prime Minister Philip Davis spoke to the need for decisive action regarding concerns about the compliance of the JBPA to the agreement. Later during the budget debate, he said the government has, over the years, done the work of the port and added that the government is going after it for monies owed to the public treasury. Now, Davis did not say how much money the GBPA owes the government, but in a response on Wednesday, the Grand Bahama Port Authority said it was disappointed by the latest turn of events, as highlighted in a recent news report regarding the government's claim for expenses for government administration of the city of Freeport under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement. Mitchell's comments were first carried earlier in the week by ZNS. The GBPA said, quote, our doors have always been and remain open for constructive dialogue with the government to resolve these matters in the best interest of Freeport. We do not believe that legal proceedings would be appropriate, nor the spirit of the mutually beneficial partnership between the GBPA, the government, our licensees, and the residents of Freeport. It does not inspire confidence or encourage further investment in the port area, of which there is currently in excess of $1.5 billion in the pipeline. We therefore invite the government to engage in the process to resolve questions concerning its claims in accordance with the parties' obligations under the Memorandum of Understanding executed between the parties in 2016. GBPA says it has always sought to fulfill its obligations as a responsible corporate citizen and remains committed to constructive dialogue with the government as it pertains to the interests of Freeport and its residents. One more thing here. I asked what's next in terms of the government's plan to help Grand Bahama grow. Mitchell told the NASA Guardian that that plan is already in the public domain. Oh, really now? Okay.
Where can I find that?
I don't know if anyone can find it.
I love to read. So.
I mean, we hear there's lots of interests, and there's all kinds of people who may be, right, but that's the plan? Oh, okay. He said, quote, we know the airport is coming. Mm-hmm. We know the Carnival Cruise Line is coming. Uh-huh. We know the shipyard is coming. Okay. All those things the government has already publicly announced. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Grand Bahama is there's a quote, Grand Bahama is one of the engines of growth for our country. Freeport is too big to fail. We cannot allow it to do so. It's just wild that we could be talking about a city like that. That's very interesting. Quote, there are certain things you can't say in public because the Prime Minister is actively engaged in helping to make sure that Grand Bahama's economy continues, and it will be helpful if the leader of the opposition, instead of joining issue with us on this, would support a clear and definitive position with regard to moving the city forward. This is a time for unity on this, not division. But the government has a responsibility to make sure Grand Bahama succeeds, and we're going to do that. Okay, all right. Let's get your reaction to that. So they don't necessarily want to buy the port, but they want their money.
Hello?
Yes.
I don't think it's that they don't necessarily want to buy the port anymore. I think it may be more of a case where the port is not interested in selling to the government. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm withdrawing my offer because you never responded kind of thing, as opposed to, we've scrapped that idea and we're going after monies that we believe that we are owed.
Yeah, okay. Oh, boy. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's hear from you folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Before we get to the calls, Laverne, based on all this now, these latest salvos back and forth, how are you feeling? You feeling confident about your city and about your island?
Hi. What you said, it is a back and forth. And more forth than back, because the government is saying a lot, and the Grand Bahama Port Authority responds every now and again, or sometimes they don't respond. I don't exactly know if this is supposed to be causing us to feel confident that something is going to happen, that we're going to see some sort of movement. But for me, it does nothing other than really cause me to roll my eye. That's where I am in this entire situation. I'm not, this means, what does this mean? All of this. What does all of this mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let's hear from the callers before I have anything else to say. Good morning, caller, on the air.
Yeah, morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
I was trying to get through on your previous topic, so I decided just to let me hold on. The government could take back the streets dead easy. For instance, these uninsured cars and stuff riding up and down. And I say a couple of years ago, all you got to do start impounding these cars uninsured. And when I impound the car, you have to pay the fine, you got to pay the record fee, and you got to come back and show that you have it insured. And don't be insured for no 3 months. It be insured. See, when we moved from insuring the cars for 1 year, that's when we run into this problem with uninsured cars. Because you definitely will have a problem on your streets. If you have 50% of the vehicles on the street is uninsured, they could run into you, they could injure you, maim you, and you get nothing for it. So they could take that back simply. The same thing with these guys here riding up and down a motorbike, no insurance, no license. You impound them. Take them off the roads. The message will be sent. The next thing, we run on about the court. But there's our laws on the book. I catch you with a gun. It's supposed to have been about, I think, 4 years or 5 years. The fellow plead not guilty, man, you get catch red-handed with a gun, you know. So they need to do that. The other day, the gentleman went to court. He had, 4 high-powered rifles and I think was 4 handguns. He got 2 years. The prosecutor was supposed to appeal that. They didn't do nothing. One more other comment. On this death penalty, the government can't just throw their hand up and say, oh, they ain't behind. They have to tie the PV Council hand. Maybe make a suggestion that the Bahamas court be the final decision for convicted murderers. And they can appeal that. Also, we have the Caribbean Justice Court of Appeal. They could try go that road. But we can't just sit back and throw our hand up, oh, we can't do nothing about it and this and that.
Your lawmakers don't want to execute people.
The law,
They
you say the lawmakers.
They don't.
Yeah, but it's ain't what they want, is what the behaving people want. You know?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you understand my point?
Mm.
We had it before.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can never agree for everything. That's why we put them there to govern. And so we gonna have to get the ball rolling. We cannot sit back and give away the country. The same thing with the shanty towns. They watched the shanty town develop. It start from 3, then it's going up to about 60. Now we, once you nip things in the bud before it starts, you will have a successful country.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I repeat myself, they could take back the streets, but you got to be strong, and certain big, hard decisions got to be made. Thank you for taking my call.
Okay, appreciate it. Let's take this call. Hopefully it'll be about Grand Bahama. Good morning, you're on the air. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Hey, good afternoon. Good morning. Dwight, Mark Turnquist from 242 Small Business Association.
Hi.
Yeah, I just want to clarify a article in the newspaper and what you were saying this morning. When I indicated that some parts should be employed and everything, the only reason why I stated that was because from our position, there was a lot of our clients and members, whatever, wanted to lay off some people in the future. Because there's something that's going on from last year, even after there was an increase in the wages from the minimum wage. And I told them, do not lay off these workers, right? Because, it's part of their operational plan. So I told them, if you are in budgetary constraints, you just hire more part-time workers, not the full-time workers, right? But you need to keep them. But sometimes when you want to bring on 1 or 2 people, you could bring on part-time people because you want to lay off the full-time people. So that was our position, because they were saying that with light bill inflation and all of that, because a lot of our members and clients, whatever, was already had this part of the operational plan from last year when there were a increase in minimum wage, and the Prime Minister indicated that next year, which is this year, that he was going to actually increase the national insurance.
So you weren't saying that in response to the fact that national insurance contributions are going to be increased?
It was a response that in case, because the increase in national wage, they should hire more part-time workers. I was saying, in reference to our position, was that in case you all want to let off workers, not to do some type of illegal activities or disenfranchise these workers. No, be a complement, right? Because you don't want to actually caused a lot of people to go to work because some of them indicated before that they was interested in that procedure. But our recommendation is to hire more part-time workers in the event that you have to lay them off, but you don't want to lay off workers.
Okay.
So, because we always want to keep full employment in the country, right? That's our objective. Because as small businesses, we are the driving force of the country, and our employees, we always do incentive program to keep them. But the challenge is because of the operational constraints, they will be challenged sometimes. So our recommendation is to keep the full-time workers. But in case you need additional staff or if you want to let one or two people go, always keep part-time workers. You always keep, because we want our economy to be vibrant.
Okay.
So there's not, I wish to show you that our members and our clients, we are not going to lay off the workers. This is not our position. Our country is growing, and we don't want that. So that's not our position.
Oh, thank you so much for clearing that up. Appreciate it. I'm talking about Grand Bahama. What's going on there, right?
It just goes to show you the importance of Grand Bahama.
I tell you.
That's just an indication, right?
I tell you. All right, let's take this call. Let's see if this one will talk about Grand Bahama. Hi, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Laverne. Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Of course I talk about Grand Bahama.
Oh, okay.
It's been 20 years I've been waiting. But, again, we go back to the year 2002 when the election started, straight up to the last election. Every prime minister and a prime minister aspirant said, so goes Grand Bahama, so goes the Bahamian economy. That has been true. The crime and poverty and the economy is interrelated. It's a complex answer, but, it can be answered. And so there will be no economic growth. There can be no room for expansion. I've asked for intelligent contradiction to the plantation that you call New Providence. And so, as in essence, if you need to grow, including critical mass for the economy to grow with some proper reform of immigration policies, Grand Bahama is the location that has at least rudimentary the infrastructure in place that you can build on. The problem, the government of the Bahamas have been playing the game of chicken, where we have been the chicken. More so, especially the whole Bahamas actually have been the conch, because the Bahamas needs Grand Bahama. There's been no real strategic plan put out from the government, previous or current, as to what the role Grand Bahama will play in the national economy. And the Grand Bahama Port Authority, since 2001, with the great downturn, have done nothing to grow or stimulate the economy. And so, in essence, what we have been lacking for the last 2 decades is leadership. Leadership in the Grand Bahama Port Authority and leadership in the government of the Bahamas. We are now 2 decades, beginning our 3rd decade into the 21st century. You hear them talk about artificial intelligence and the various different technology to fight for digital and global technological and digital supremacy. Well, Grand Bahama plays a crucial role in being the crossroads between those two giants and the Caribbean and South America.
So, see, Alan, really quickly before we have to go, so why aren't we hearing more Grand Bahamians, other than you, saying that we need to have more semi-autonomy for Grand Bahama to be able to make their own decisions without having to rely on Nassau for everything?
Well, Dwight, maybe tomorrow morning I'll take a few minutes in call, because believe it or not, in the Hawksbill Creek Agreement is built that local government autonomy that you speak of often, and that is one of the biggest things. Here's what the Hawksbill Creek Agreement says. Nothing can apply to Bahamians in Freeport that doesn't apply to Bahamians everywhere. So to give us the local government law, it'll be mandated that that form of local government be given to everybody, and that is one of the greatest fears of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement.
Okay. Because, we will be talking about this forever if we don't see that.
No, right, but see, that's right. I'm saying to you that what you need is people with first-person knowledge as opposed to second and third person hearsay to speak to what Grand Bahama is. People talk with, just around it rather than to it, and that's the problem. This is an actual law on the books. This is an actual opportunity for us to grow, not how I think, how I feel, what I heard, what I was told. And for those who know, many people may even be afraid to speak, because Grand Bahama is a company town. You speak too loud and you could get hit with a big stick.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Vern. Oh, boy. You tired? Are you tired? You not tired?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't mean just from the show today, which
No. I know what you mean.
I'm exhausted from the show today, but yes, but there's the same issues over and over and over.
And over.
This is crazy. This is crazy stuff, and we're gonna be 2026, 2027, because it's the Band-Aid approach to everything. No real master plan, and even with the crime plan. While if we could implement all those things would be great. But it is pretty much what should have been happening all along, right? If we were doing that, we'd be more than halfway.
We'd be further ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, we're gonna still stick it out and see what we can do.
Talking about it, and hopefully,
Yeah. Laverne Gardner, thank you so much. I'll talk with you again next week.
Always a pleasure.
I'll be back tomorrow morning, folks, with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.